hi, welcome to Bros Talk episode 2. So, today we have again Jack Bro together with us in this episode. So, what we gonna discuss on this episode? So, recently our PM announced MCO 2.0,
Yep,
right? So,
correct.
that is what we're going to talk today. MCO, Movement Control Order. We already
2.0.
went, yes, we already went through one MCO before this, and it successfully ended. And he was in the age of actually success of doing the MCO. But
Mm.
however, the table turns and thing gets worse. So here we are in MCO 2.0, every back again in inside the dungeon. So everyone have to be inside the home and a lot of stuff is going on now. So let's discuss. Is it too late to implement MCO 2.0? What's your thought on this, Jack Bro?
Yeah, I feel it's a bit too late. It's like my opinion is the MCO is only being applied when the damage has already happened.
Mm-hmm.
So what would have been good is, you know, as they say, prevention is better than cure. The saying goes.
Correct.
So in this case, COVID is something that has no cure yet. So the best option is prevention. So uh, I think that rather than doing the MCO during the
Mm-hmm.
time where case has spiked out of control, I believe that they should have done it earlier, like especially like festive seasons where people will always take the opportunity or reason to travel
Mm-hmm.
back to either their hometowns or go on holidays, take long leave, go on holidays with their family. So
Yep.
this is something that of course they say take two hands. There's two hands here. It takes two hands uh,
To
it
make it
takes
so.
two to tango,
Yeah. True.
right? So I feel like uh, one end the government should have anticipated that people might travel during the festive season, go around
Mm-hmm.
visiting, vacations, and all that. They should have put a stop there and then to actually to have like a short MCO, maybe like for instance just before the festive seasons like Christmas and New Year,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just do it for that moment. Do not allow people to travel. Only after the festive season is over,
Mm-hmm.
then open up. I believe the case wouldn't have gone up to that level.
Okay, when you say that if it done earlier, I mean
Yes,
before
yes,
Christmas and New Year, the case
yes,
wouldn't be as much as what we are seeing today. Yeah,
yes,
I
correct.
agree on that point. So coming up to that again, so do you think when the case was spiking during June and July onwards, right?
Okay.
Is that the point that actually they should have implemented this MCO, or they should have been taking a different ways to approach the issue to prevent the spread?
To prevent the spread. Well, of course, there are concerns where there are concerns where the economy, the tourism, small industries will be affected and stuff like that. So
Correct.
we don't blindly. What I'm saying is the government should not blindly just implement an MCO. Rather, gather a committee or what, study around
Mm-hmm.
the clock what is the best way to do an MCO and only restricting movement from the by movement of the people
Mm-hmm.
and only get all this permission to go to work. People are allowed to do that and maybe do a selective lockdown in red zone areas.
Mm-hmm.
And if the red zone area is where the industry or where the economy, uh, what I mean to say is like that is a place where the economy is running. It needs people to move and go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have to do a conditional MCO there, whereby only people with the permission of letter to move to go to work are allowed to move. Other than that, shop plots, going out to buy groceries, they have to limit the movement, and thereafter, all premises has to be closed like by 8 o'clock. So I think,
So,
and of course, prevent interstate travel, meaning
mm-hmm.
like learning from the history, like during Christmas and what do you call New Year. We were having people from folks from Selangor traveling to either northern region or southern region or east coast,
Correct.
and most of the zones in Selangor and places like that are mostly red. So the chances of carriers, asymptomatic people or people whose symptoms has not showed up yet are traveling around. So that is causing the spread. So I believe apart from the government's portion, even the people themselves should have some sense and be proactive enough to make the smart decisions on their own. I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not take everything lightly and because government says I can doesn't say I can I'm not supposed to move, means I can move everywhere I want. I mean, have some sense, because uh, if it's a common flu, it's a flu season, it's a curable disease, yeah, it's okay. But this is something where the cure is not yet available to the people.
Mm-hmm.
So prevention is always the best option. So how you prevent this? Of course, you stop your movements, so
So,
limit your movements and interactions, and only do move around or go out wherever is necessary.
mm-hmm. So in a way, you're stating that for the CMCO areas, right?
Hmm.
Whatever they implemented for MCO now, they should have implemented during the CMCO as well,
Yes, correct.
right? So yeah, I think
Yes.
that would have been a better option to hold on. But
Yeah, correct.
it's too late now. So let's come to that. When it comes to the movement, right? Uh,
Hmm.
do you think that people being inconsiderate of things that happening, whether they actually supposed to think what are the consequences of traveling to one state to another state, or what they'll be bringing back in this time of a pandemic time? So do you think people should have been concentrate a bit on their planning activities, on their on planning their vacations, and having a mass gathering like weddings or something like that?
Okay. If let's say vacation and all, okay, of course, inconsiderate, I am not sure about that. I feel like it's a too strong word. It's more like people took things too lightly, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And if let's say if you are in a position where you feel you need a vacation, you need a change of environment, rather than if you're in the red zone and you're not allowed to move around, maybe find alternatives where that allows to travel within that state itself. Like for example, if you're a Penangite, you can travel within Penang, maybe homestay within your
Mm-hmm.
state, and that's it. So it's like how you say, your backyard vacation, something
Yep.
like
That is actually what I'm actually telling that
yes, yes,
in that sense, okay, if you want to plan a vacation, you can do within your state, because I think most of us within the state also we haven't actually explored the whole state yet.
yeah,
In that sense, why would you want to go out to a different state when you have a lot of things in your state as well to explore?
yeah,
So maybe that could be done. maybe after this MCO 2.0, we can take that into a planning rather than going out far away from one state to different state, right?
Yeah.
So,
I hope this is a learning lesson for a lot of people. But if after this, if I mean, touch wood, it won't happen again. I hope. But if it does, then I don't know what to say. I mean, I think that I feel like if that's the case, then the government would need to employ, some measures to actually be a bit stringent and control effectively if there's no cooperation.
mhm.
Because you have to think of the bigger picture.
Yeah,
Whenever
true.
there's a lockdown, companies move at a they have to operate at a lower capacity. So when they operate at lower capacity, profit margins will reduce, their income, their revenues will be reduced, and to a point where they may need to lay off people. So when
Yeah,
this happens, what happens? It's like a chain reaction or a dominoes effect.
correct.
People will get retrenched. Unemployment. When unemployment happens, people will be struggling to find jobs
Hmm.
and to make ends meet and stuff like that. And if let's say if more of this happens to a point where there's no job, there's no source of income, I don't think the government has enough money to feed everybody just like that. And
Yeah.
with this situation in power, of course, automatically when our human survival instinct kicks in, then that's where crime happens,
Hmm. Yep.
robbery. Why? Because this has been seen in history. Whenever a certain group of people have been oppressed
Hmm.
till a point where they need to survive, then they have to go. I mean, no other option. They have to turn only to one option.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, so it's difficult. Crime rates will definitely increase because end of the day, it's money, and money is the one that
One
enables us to have food,
one of the basic
pay,
necessity lah.
yes, to pay for
Yes.
our necessities.
Yes. So another question. So when it comes to a MCO 2.0, right? So one thing that we noticed before is the SOP, standard operating procedure.
Yeah,
So it been a very uh, what we say a very standard and too common to for all industry to adapt, right?
yep.
Do you think that certain different industry need different SOP to follow to adhere to?
Yeah, that's a good question. Uh, if you look at the manufacturing industry in the overall, I mean, there are so many industries: tourism,
Yes,
there's the manufacturing industry, uh, and many more, right?
correct.
So I think, yeah, if in that sense, of course, you need to have a different operating procedure, SOP. SOP, I mean, mainly customized for industry. For example, manufacturing companies, regardless of what products you produce,
Mm-hmm,
if you go into the production plant, you're going to have so many operators, and uh, they are going to be standing side by side,
mm-hmm,
and how you say, because they have processes where the product undergoes through a few processes before it is able to be produced as a
correct.
complete product.
And
And
then they will
yeah,
be using the
the
equipments
workstations
all.
are usually side by side.
Yes,
This is
correct.
for process of production yield efficiency. It
Mm-hmm,
means I can build it as fast and shorter period. In a short or in a certain period, I can build more. So
mm-hmm,
it all comes down to distance and stuff. So of course, if you ask me, yes, that is going to impact. You need a SOP for that. If you look on the in the tourism industry, that's a different case altogether,
yeah, correct, correct. So yeah,
right?
yep. So I think in overall that MCO 2.0 is another chance for us to uh, rectify whatever the mistake that we done
Yes, I believe
coming forward.
more detailed thought has to be put into the SOPs.
Yes, correct,
You
correct.
know, improvise as we go.
Yep, we learn from the
Uh,
mistakes,
yeah,
right?
and when our SOP was happening last year, after the case went down to quite a low cases, they should have extended the MCO a bit more longer until the last case and everything has been effectively cleared.
Hmm.
Only then they lift off the MCO, like just what Singapore is doing.
Yep,
Singapore has no new cases. They have active cases, but they don't have new cases. Even if they do, they have one or two a day. So
I,
everything is within control.
I think for Singapore they already have the vaccine
Yes, and they already
available
have
for
the
them.
vaccine.
Yes, yes. I think
But this, what I'm telling is the number of cases and all reduced. They have no new cases even before the vaccine.
true, true.
And New Zealand, they had a reinfection where people came in and the case spiked up again. But they are now again for the second time, if I'm not mistaken, they are declaring themselves as COVID free, and they are
Hmm.
lifting up all the SOPs and bans, meaning to say people can move as per normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so we
what
should
we
also improvise and move. A better job, a better thought has to be made into
Yep.
putting this.
It's not just a one man's effort. It's actually all together a nation's effort. Okay.
Yes, yes,
So we all as a nation should be responsible for what's happening around us as well. So
yes, yes,
to sum it up all, I think MCO 2.0 we can it's back to us. uh, it gives us some time to think back what we done in the past and what we have to do in moving forward with 2021. I think we all expected 2021 would be a much better start than 2020, but yet it begins the same as 2020 actually. So
yeah,
in order in order it doesn't continue like 2020. It's in our hand to do what we should do. So
yeah,
uh, first thing, please follow all these SOPs and please take care of your hygienes all. Okay, and then when after the MCO lift off, don't please everyone straight away go for vacation. Yes, okay. Whole things first. Let everything calms
step,
down. Yes,
yes,
let the vaccine comes. Let give it some time for everything to be settled down first. Then you can go. You have waited for such long time, but you can wait for a few more months or something like that, right?
yep,
So another thing is I think we have enough putting our burden in the front liners already. I think they already went going through a lot of burdens from
yeah,
since 2021 20 to 21 actually.
yeah. Please give them a break. They really need the rest.
Yes. So let's hope for the best. Let's MCO 2.0 reduce all the cases and we can flatten the curve of COVID-19 in our country. So let us pray and let us be responsible. So uh, any yeah,
Yeah,
can you
all I want to say is let's make 2021 a better year for us.
yes, correct.
It's all in our
So
hands.
yep. So that's all for us. So MCO 2.0. I think we only can say for now is have a nice time at home, and those who are working from home, please balance out your lifestyle as well. So, uh, happy New Year, and till we meet next year. Signing off. Sorry, next year? No, no, no. Next episode. Signing
Ah,
off. Go to lobby and Jack Bro.
okay. See
Adios.
you guys.